Imagine a being so powerful, the very concept of infinity bends to his will. A being who sees the greatest cosmic entities in Marvel as little more than insects. That being is the Beyonder. He is not a god, not a titan, not a celestial. He is something else, something outside, a force from beyond the multiverse itself. The Beyonder does not simply wield power. He is power, raw, unlimited, absolute. When he first appeared during Secret Wars, he pulled heroes and villains alike on a battle world, not because he had to, but because he was curious. To him, the clash of Earth's mightiest champions was nothing more than a game. And in that game, he bent reality like clay, creating and destroying on a whim. Galactus? Helpless before him. Mephisto? Shaken to his core. Eternity itself? Reduced to an idea next to his might. But the Marvel cosmos has one rule. No being stands unchecked. No matter how vast. No matter how untouchable. And that rule comes in the form of a judge above all others, the Living Tribunal. Before we reach that confrontation, let's pause on the Beyonder himself. What makes him so terrifying isn't just his power, it's his perspective. He is not bound by human morality. He doesn't even fully understand it. When he first looked upon the Marvel Universe, he saw a puzzle. A strange little box filled with struggles, victories, deaths, and rebirths. And like a child curious about ants, he decided to poke. To see what would happen if he gave mortals unlimited desires. If he twisted their worlds, broke their limits, tempted their hearts. That is the Beyonder's greatest danger. Not simply that he can erase you from existence with a thought, but that he may choose not to, for his amusement. At the height of his power, he casually swatted aside beings that most heroes cannot even comprehend. He overpowered Galactus without effort. He dismantled the power of death itself. He even faced the combined will of cosmic abstracts and treated them like shadows. There was only one question left. If the Beyonder was beyond all, who could possibly stop him? The answer is the Living Tribunal. The Tribunal is not a god. He is not even comparable to entities like eternity or infinity. He is above them. He is the balance of the multiverse incarnate. He is the judge, jury, and executioner of all reality. Where the Beyonder embodies unbound freedom, the Tribunal embodies absolute law. Three faces, three aspects: equity, necessity, and vengeance. Together, they pass judgment on entire universes. A single gesture from the Tribunal can annihilate dimensions or alter the flow of cosmic law. And unlike the Beyonder, the Tribunal does not act out of curiosity. He acts only when the scales of existence tilt too far into chaos. And nothing tilted them more than the arrival of the Beyonder. When the Tribunal looked upon him, he did not see a game. He saw a threat to the order of everything. A being that existed outside the hierarchy, beyond the checks and balances, free from any natural limit. The Beyonder's presence was a paradox, a glitch in the multiversal code. And if he could not be contained, he would have to be destroyed. Thus began one of the greatest questions in Marvel's cosmic lore. What happens when limitless power faces ultimate judgment? The answer would shake the multiverse. The Tribunal does not appear often. When he does, it means the fate of entire realities hangs in the balance. And when the Beyonder arrived, bending universes to his whims, the Tribunal could not remain silent. With a ripple across existence, the three-faced judge manifested. One face for necessity, one for equity, one for vengeance, each speaking as one. His very presence shook eternity. Stars flickered, dimensions stilled. Even gods like Odin and Zeus felt his shadow cross their realms. And before him stood the Beyonder. The Tribunal's voice resonated across all planes. You do not belong. Your presence distorts the balance. You must be judged. The Beyonder tilted his head, amused. For the first time, someone dared confront him not with fear, but authority. Judge me, he said, his tone almost playful. I am beyond judgment, beyond your laws, beyond your balance. He raised his hand, and reality bent. Entire galaxies folded in and out like origami, reformed in new shapes, then snapped back again, all in a blink. But the tribunal did not flinch. Your power is vast, but law is greater. You are an infection in the weave of existence, and I am the cure. The first clash was not physical. It was conceptual. The Beyonder represented infinite will, a being from outside creation, shaping it however he pleased. The tribunal represented absolute order. He was not simply fighting with power, but with the authority of the multiverse itself. With a gesture, the tribunal froze the flow of time. The Beyonder laughed and restarted it. The tribunal extinguished an entire universe to demonstrate finality. The Beyonder recreated it instantly, exactly as it had been, proving nothing was beyond him. For every judgment the tribunal cast, the Beyonder defied it with ease. It was a duel unlike any other. Not fists, not beams, but the very fabric of reality pulled in two directions, between law and freedom. But here's the thing about the Living Tribunal. He never fights alone. He speaks for the one above all, the supreme being of the Marvel multiverse. And though the tribunal rarely invokes that ultimate authority, the very weight of his connection gave him leverage. He called upon the cosmic abstracts, eternity, infinity, death, and oblivion. They surrounded the Beyonder, adding their will to the tribunal's judgment. Together, they demanded balance. Together, they called for his end. But the Beyonder only smiled. With a wave of his hand, he erased their combined assault. Death's scythe dulled. Eternity's form cracked. Infinity's endless scope shrank. Even oblivion itself recoiled. The tribunal, for the first time in eons, faltered. Because the Beyonder was not part of the equation. He was outside of it, beyond even the hierarchy of cosmic abstracts. And that meant the tribunal's law could not bind him. Yet the tribunal was not done. He spoke once more, his three faces blazing like suns. If law cannot contain you, then only choice remains. You will either withdraw beyond this multiverse forever, or you will face erasure by the will of the one above all. The Beyonder paused. His laughter quieted. For the first time, he considered the weight of what stood against him. Not because he feared destruction, but because the tribunal was right. His presence distorted everything. Heroes fought wars because of him. Villains rose higher than ever because of him. The very concept of free will trembled under his shadow. And so the question lingered. Would he leave peacefully? Or would the tribunal and the multiverse be forced to find a way to unmake the unmakeable? The decision would define their next clash. The air between them was heavy with something no mortal could comprehend. On one side, the Living Tribunal, embodiment of law, judgment, and balance. On the other, the Beyonder, pure omnipotence from beyond creation. It was not a clash of strength anymore. It was a clash of existence itself. The tribunal raised his three heads, and all three spoke in unison. This is your final chance. Withdraw beyond the wall of realities, or be erased in the name of balance. The Beyonder's eyes glowed with cosmic amusement. For a moment, he said nothing. And then, softly, he asked a question that echoed across eternity. Tell me, Judge, if I destroy you, who will judge me then? The tribunal extended his hand. His palm glowed with the weight of multiversal authority, the very law of existence condensed into one strike. It was the kind of power that had ended civilizations, silenced gods, and reset entire timelines. He brought it down upon the Beyonder. The universe cracked like glass. And yet, the Beyonder stood unharmed. With a casual gesture, he held the shattering cosmos together, as though mocking the tribunal's greatest strike. You see, the Beyonder said, your laws mean nothing to me. I am beyond your scale. I am freedom itself. But the tribunal was not discouraged. His faces spoke again. You are not freedom. You are imbalance. You are a threat to the multiverse itself. And no matter how vast your power, law demands correction. The Beyonder's smirk faded. For the first time, he felt something unfamiliar. Not fear. Not weakness. But the recognition that even his omnipotence could not erase the concept of balance itself. Because the tribunal did not fight alone. Behind him, unseen, unfelt by all but the highest beings, was the shadow of the one above all, the source of everything, the truth that even the Beyonder could not surpass. And in that moment, the Beyonder realized he was powerful, yes, beyond gods, beyond concepts, but not beyond the source. The battle ended not with destruction, but with choice. The Beyonder withdrew, not because he was defeated, but because he understood. His presence in the Marvel universe was distortion, a ripple that would unravel everything. So he returned to the Beyond realm, watching from the outside, occasionally testing, occasionally tempting, but never fully stepping in again. The Tribunal, silent and unmoved, faded back into the cosmic order, his duty fulfilled. Balance was restored, for now. And yet, the memory remained. Heroes whispered about the time a being who bent infinity itself nearly shattered all they knew. The cosmic abstracts remembered their own helplessness, and the Tribunal remembered the one being who had stared into the weight of judgment and dared to laugh. The Beyonder was gone, but never truly gone. Because beyond the walls of reality, beyond the Tribunal, beyond even the laws of the multiverse, he waits. And one day, when curiosity strikes again, the question will return. What happens when limitless power challenges ultimate judgment? And next time, the verdict may not be so merciful.